A Costco store in Orange County, it is going viral after the expansion of the company's card-sharing crackdown. A TikTok user.
Costco employees are trained to notice one small thing you do with your cart. Most members never realize it.
Imagine yourself walking through the produce section of Costco, surrounded by mountains of vibrant fruits and vegetables. You pick up a lemon that looks as if it was plucked from the tree just minutes ago. Its surface is flawless, glowing with a radiance that suggests pure natural health for your family. However, that glow is not a result of nature, but of a chemical intervention that you were never supposed to notice. An invisible permanent coating is now being applied to your produce, funded by some of the most powerful billionaires on the planet. This substance, known as Apeel, is designed to bond with the skin of your food so tightly that no amount of scrubbing can ever remove it. You are no longer just buying fruit. You are purchasing a laboratory-engineered product without your explicit consent. Most shoppers believe they are making a healthy choice, but they have no idea what these industrial compounds are doing to their internal systems. This is a silent invasion of the global food supply that aims to strip away your right to know what is actually on your plate. Pay close attention, because by the end of this investigation, I will reveal a shocking truth about why certain elites are obsessed with sealing your food that will change how you shop forever. For decades, we have been told that fresh produce is the ultimate medicine for a long and healthy life. We trust that the fruits and vegetables we buy are the last remaining bastion of pure nature in a world full of processed junk. This trust is the only reason we are willing to pay a premium price for items labeled as fresh and organic. But that sacred bond between the farmer and the consumer is being systematically dismantled by massive corporate interests. A new technology is being marketed as a solution to food waste, yet it raises terrifying questions about long-term human safety. Apeel is not just a preservative. It is a fundamental restructuring of how we interact with the food that sustains our biological systems. The magnitude of this issue is staggering when you consider that major retailers like Costco are leading the charge in this transition. Backed by hundreds of millions of dollars from high-profile billionaire foundations, this technology is being integrated into the supply chain with almost zero public oversight. You deserve to know why a technology meant to save the planet might actually be compromising your delicate internal health. In this investigation, we will break down the specific products at Costco that you must avoid to keep these industrial chemicals out of your home. We are going to expose the misleading labels that are hiding the truth and the specific brands that are profiting from this lack of transparency. Continue through each section carefully, because the very last part of this report contains a shock about a hidden legal loophole that will leave you absolutely speechless. The avocados become a symbol of the modern health movement and a staple in millions of Costco shopping carts every single week. We rely on their creamy texture and healthy fats to fuel our bodies and nourish our families. There is a specific sense of satisfaction when you find that perfect bag of avocados that stays green and firm for days on end. However, that unnatural longevity is often the first warning sign that you are looking at a product treated with Apeel. The problem starts with a group of chemicals known as mono and diglycerides, which are the primary ingredients in this invisible coating. While these substances are derived from plant oils, they are heavily processed in industrial facilities using high heat and chemical catalysts. Once applied to the avocado, this layer acts as a permanent barrier that traps moisture inside and keeps oxygen out. This means the fruit might look perfectly fresh on your kitchen counter, while it is actually undergoing a chemical preservation process that was never intended for natural food. Unlike the natural waxes used in the past, you cannot simply wash this coating away with water or even a vinegar soak. Because it is engineered to be a part of the fruit's surface, you are essentially forced to ingest these industrial emulsifiers with every bite of your toast or guacamole. These specific chemicals have been linked to significant disruptions in the gut microbiome and chronic inflammation in the digestive tract. You think you are investing in your health, but you are actually participating in a massive experiment without your knowledge. It is a profound betrayal to realize that the one food you trusted for its purity has been turned into a vehicle for corporate chemistry. The ripe and ready label now serves as a mask for a product that refuses to decay at a natural rate. But do not make up your mind just yet, because the next item on our list is an even more common fruit that many of us eat every single day. Few things represent health more clearly than a crisp and shiny apple sitting in a child's lunchbox. We have been taught since infancy that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, creating a deep emotional bond with this specific fruit. Shoppers at Costco often buy these in bulk bags, trusting that the high turnover of a major warehouse ensures the freshest possible harvest for their families. It is the ultimate convenience food, wrapped in a skin that nature perfected over millions of years of evolution. But that natural skin is now being replaced by a synthetic replica that allows apples to sit in cold storage for up to 1 full year before they ever reach the shelf. When an apple is treated with the Apeel coating, its biological clock is effectively frozen, turning it into what some experts call a zombie fruit. This industrial layer prevents the fruit from breathing, which keeps it firm to the touch, but also traps internal gases that can lead to a significant loss of vital nutrients. You are paying for the mere appearance of freshness while consuming a product that is essentially a relic of a past season. The real danger lies in the fact that apples are almost always consumed with the skin on, meaning there is no way to avoid the chemical intake. Parents believe they are providing a nutritious snack, but they are actually feeding their children a steady dose of processed emulsifiers that have no place in a natural diet. This creates a sense of betrayal that is hard to ignore once you realize the supermarket is prioritizing shelf life over your biological integrity. It is a calculated decision by large corporations to maximize profits at the expense of your health and the right to eat real food. We are seeing a disturbing shift where the beauty of the fruit is used as a weapon to hide the presence of laboratory intervention. The next time you see an apple that looks too perfect to be real, you should consider that it probably is exactly that. But as bad as the situation with apples has become, the story regarding citrus fruits is even more alarming because of how we typically use them. You need to hear what is happening to lemons and limes, because the way these chemicals interact with acid will make you rethink your morning routine immediately. Lemons and limes are the secret workhorses of the kitchen, used to brighten our water, garnish our cocktails, and add a burst of vitamin C to our meals. Many health enthusiasts start their morning with a glass of warm lemon water, believing it is the ultimate way to detoxify the liver and alkalize the body. At warehouse clubs like Costco, these citrus fruits are sold in large mesh bags that seem like an incredible value for anyone trying to maintain a high level of health. We trust the thick, textured zest of the lemon to protect the precious juice inside from any external contaminants. However, the introduction of Apeel onto citrus crops has turned this healthy habit into a potential source of chemical exposure. Because lemons and limes are highly acidic, there are growing concerns about how the natural acids in the fruit might interact with the synthetic monoglycerides in the coating. While you might only use the juice, the process of slicing through a coated lemon carries those industrial chemicals directly from the surface into the liquid you are about to consume. This means your morning detox ritual could be introducing the very types of processed additives that your liver is working so hard to eliminate. The betrayal becomes even deeper when you realize that citrus fruits already have their own highly effective natural protection in the form of essential oils and a thick peel. Adding an industrial layer on top of what nature has already perfected is a clear sign that corporate interests are prioritizing global shipping logistics over the health of the individual consumer. This coating is not for your benefit. It is designed to allow these fruits to survive weeks of transport in shipping containers without showing signs of age. You are paying the price for a supply chain that values durability more than the biological purity of your ingredients. It is heartbreaking to realize that even the simplest ingredients in our kitchen are being quietly altered in ways we were never told to expect. When you reach for a lime to squeeze into your drink, you should be able to trust that it contains nothing but the fruit itself. But as concerning as these individual fruits are, the real danger reaches a whole new level when we look at the prepackaged convenience items that many of us rely on for quick meals. Stay focused, because the next item on our list involves a signature Costco brand that is a staple in millions of households. Kirkland's signature salad kits are the ultimate time saver for busy families who refuse to compromise on their health. We see the large bags filled with crisp kale, bright cabbage, and colorful vegetables, and we feel a sense of security in the Kirkland name. This brand is synonymous with quality and value, leading us to believe that every ingredient has been meticulously vetted for our safety. But the dark reality is that these prepackaged kits are the perfect hiding place for produce treated with the Apeel chemical coating. Components like cucumbers or sliced vegetables that appear miraculously firm inside a plastic bag have often been sealed in industrial monoglycerides to prevent them from wilting. This allows the kit to stay on the shelf much longer than nature intended, creating an illusion of freshness that masks the presence of laboratory-engineered additives. When you eat these salads, you are not just consuming vitamins and minerals, you are ingesting a layer of chemical glue that was never meant to be a part of a human diet. This invisible invasion compromises the very gut health that you are trying to improve by eating more vegetables in the first place. It is a cynical manipulation of your desire for a healthy lifestyle, turning a simple meal into a delivery system for corporate chemicals. The convenience of the plastic bag has become a shield for the lack of transparency in our modern food system. You deserve a meal that is as fresh as it looks, not one that has been chemically embalmed for the sake of a longer shelf life. However, this lack of honesty is not limited to just one store, and the next location on our list is where the situation becomes truly dangerous for the most vulnerable shoppers. Walmart has become a primary destination for millions of shoppers, looking for low prices and extreme convenience in their daily lives. Their pre-cut melon bowls and fruit medleys are incredibly popular for people on the go who want a healthy snack without the mess of preparation. We trust that these clear plastic containers hold nothing but the simple chopped up pieces of nature that our bodies need for energy. It feels like a smart choice to grab a bowl of cantaloupe or honeydew instead of a bag of processed chips or a sugary candy bar. The hidden danger occurs during the very process that makes these bowls so convenient for the consumer. When a knife passes through the outer rind of a melon that has been treated with the Apeel coating, it creates a bridge for contamination. As the blade slices through the chemically sealed surface, it carries those industrial monoglycerides directly into the soft, porous flesh of the fruit. This means you are ingesting the coating even if you believe you are only eating the unprotected inside of the melon. This creates a situation where there is absolutely no escape from the synthetic additives that were engineered to stay on the skin. These compounds can disrupt your delicate internal systems and lead to chronic digestive issues that many people never think to blame on their fruit. You are paying a premium for the convenience of pre-cut fruit while unknowingly sacrificing the biological purity of your healthy snacks. It is a calculated trade-off made by massive retailers who prioritize speed and shelf life over the transparency you deserve. The lack of clear and honest labeling on these plastic containers makes it nearly impossible for you to protect your family from this silent invasion. It is a system designed to keep you in the dark while you consume laboratory-engineered products under the guise of fresh produce. But as concerning as this is for adults, the next item on our list is even more heartbreaking because it targets the most innocent members of our families. Stay with this report, because what we found regarding the fruit most commonly given to children will leave you feeling completely betrayed by the industry. Mandarins like halos and cuties are often seen as the perfect guilt-free snack for our children. Their bright orange color and easy-to-peel nature make them a staple in lunchboxes, and after school snacks across the country, parents trust these brands because they represent a commitment to natural, unprocessed energy for growing bodies. We assume that because the peel is discarded, the fruit inside remains a sanctuary of pure nutrition for our little ones. However, the reality of modern industrial farming means that even these small citrus fruits are now being coated in the Apeel chemical barrier. This invisible layer of monoglycerides is applied to keep the fruit from shrinking or drying out during the long journey to the Costco warehouse. While the industry claims this is safe, they ignore the fact that children's hands are constantly in contact with the peel during the snacking process. Every time a child peels one of these treated oranges, those laboratory chemicals are transferred directly from their fingers to the fruit and then into their mouths. This is a calculated betrayal of the most vulnerable members of our society who rely on us to keep their food supplies safe. By prioritizing the visual perfection and shelf life of a snack, these corporations are introducing synthetic emulsifiers into a child's developing digestive system. It is a heartless strategy that values profit margins over the biological well-being of the next generation. This realization should make every parent question what else is being hidden behind the bright packaging and cheerful brand names. As we see the reach of this technology expanding, it becomes clear that no corner of the produce aisle is truly safe from intervention. The invasion has moved beyond just the sweet fruits and is now taking over the vegetables we use for our most basic meals. Keep following this investigation as we move into the final category of produce to avoid, because the way these chemicals are used on everyday vegetables is the most deceptive tactic of all. After that, we will finally reveal the specific loophole that allows this to happen and the only way you can truly protect your family. Cucumbers are the refreshing heart of a healthy salad, prized for their high water content and crisp texture. At warehouse stores like Costco, these vegetables are often sold in multi-packs, promising a week of hydration and nutrients for your family. However, because cucumbers are mostly water, they are incredibly prone to wilting and soft spots during the long shipping process. To combat this natural decay, industrial suppliers are increasingly using the Apeel coating to seal the moisture inside and create a deceptive illusion of firmness. The situation becomes even more complex when we look at the imported produce that fills the shelves during the colder months. Fruits and vegetables traveling from thousands of miles away, in Mexico or South America, are the primary targets for this chemical preservation technology. These items must survive weeks in transit, and the Apeel barrier allows them to look remarkably fresh, even after they have been separated from the soil for a month or more. This allows retailers to stock shelves with items that appear vibrant but are biologically depleted of their original life force. This is the ultimate deception in the modern grocery store, where the visual quality of a vegetable no longer reflects its nutritional value. By applying nearing laboratory-engineered monoglycerides to imported crops, corporations can cut costs on refrigerated shipping and reduce losses from spoilage. The result is a produce aisle filled with zombie vegetables that are legally allowed to enter your kitchen without any clear warning on the individual items. You are forced to navigate a minefield of industrial chemicals every time you try to feed your family a simple and healthy meal. We have reached the peak of this silent invasion, and the evidence of corporate overreach is now impossible to ignore. Every item on this list represents a direct threat to your right to eat food that is pure and unaltered by the interests of billionaires. But do not lose hope, because there is a way to reclaim your health and bypass this entire system of chemical manipulation. Prepare yourself, because we are about to reveal the only true safe haven for your produce and the final terrifying secret about why this technology is being forced upon us without a single vote. After learning about the invisible chemical layers surrounding your food, it is easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless in the face of such massive corporate influence. However, you still hold the most important tool of all, which is the power of your choice and where you decide to spend your hard-earned dollars. Reclaiming your health begins with a conscious commitment to seeking out sources that refuse to compromise the biological integrity of the food they sell. You have the ability to step outside of the industrial grocery system and return to a way of eating that honors the natural cycles of the earth. The first and most effective line of defense for your family is to prioritize 100% USDA organic produce whenever it is possible. While many standard organic items are still part of the massive supply chain, those labeled as 100% organic are subject to much stricter regulations regarding synthetic additives and post-harvest treatments. By choosing these specific items, you are sending a clear signal to retailers that you value purity over a long shelf life and artificial perfection. It is an investment in your long-term health that pays dividends by keeping laboratory chemicals off your plate and out of your body. For the ultimate level of safety and transparency, you should look toward your local farmers markets and community-supported agriculture programs. When you buy directly from a local grower, you can look them in the eye and ask exactly how your food was handled from the seed to the harvest. Small-scale farmers typically do not have the desire or the budget to apply expensive chemical coatings to their crops because they rely on the natural quality of their harvest. This is the only way to ensure that your fruit is actually fresh and not just a chemically preserved relic of a previous month. As we conclude this investigation, we must reveal the shocking legal loophole that has allowed this entire invasion to take place right under our noses. This technology was brought to market using a designation known as generally recognized as safe, which allows companies to effectively bypass the rigorous long-term human testing that we expect for new substances. This means that you and your children are the unofficial test subjects for a chemical coating that has never been proven safe for lifelong consumption. We must demand a return to absolute transparency and refuse to let the interests of billionaires dictate the safety of the food that sustains our lives. The veil has finally been lifted on the invisible invasion that is currently taking place in the produce aisles of our most trusted retailers. We have seen how a simple piece of fruit can be transformed into a laboratory experiment through the use of hidden industrial coatings. This transition from natural life to chemical preservation is a calculated move by those who value corporate efficiency more than human biological health. You now have the knowledge to see past the artificial glow of the supermarket shelf and recognize the truth for yourself. It is time for us to take back control of our kitchens and demand absolute transparency from the corporations that feed our families. Every single purchase you make is a vote for the type of food system you want to see in the future. By sharing this information with your loved ones, you are helping to build a community that values biological integrity over corporate convenience. Your voice and your choices are the only things that can stop this silent expansion of industrial chemistry into our daily lives. If you found this investigation helpful, please subscribe to this channel and join us as we continue to uncover the hidden dangers in our modern world. Leave a comment below to let us know if you've seen the Apeel label at your local store and how you plan to change your shopping habits. Your engagement helps us reach more people and spread this critical warning to those who are still in the dark. Thank you for watching and for standing with us in the fight for real and honest food for everyone.